Alright, this video is going to be a bit different than my normal ones. It's going to be pretty much unedited, unscripted, but with a specific topic. A long time ago, I showed support for a project called Destination Home. They were bringing back PlayStation Home, essentially. They were getting it back online. You could play it just how it used to be. I even showed a few of my videos that what's the word? Sorry. It's still going to be an unedited video. You're going to have to hear all my stuttering. I showed my participation in the closed alpha, closed beta phases. Due to a lot of things I've since found out about them, I can no longer support them. But that's not what I'm going to cover today. I want to expose is a dirty word. I want to bring to light something that they've done, or rather not done, that's quite deceptive, and it's gone under everyone's radar. In order to play on Destination Home's Discord on their home server, you need to first go to their Discord server. Ask to get whitelisted, because if you try to join and it just immediately won't let you, you'll get kicked out. But you'll also need to download their custom build of RPCS3 if you intend to not play on a real PS3. You know RPCS3, this is not their custom build. This is like the default one you download from the RPCS3 website. This is how they have a custom build of RPCS3. Like, the code itself is modified with extra features that, instead of choosing to contribute their code to the master branch so everyone can use it, they keep it to themselves and implement these features into their custom build and have everyone download that. If you've seen by any rare chance really old recordings, I used to have RPCS3 and then RPCS3 Home right here. That's what that was. However, we need to talk about, I got the link, RPCS3's license agreements. You've probably heard of license agreements before. In fact, if you've ever read a EULA, or, let's be honest, scrolled down to the bottom of it and clicked I agree, or get around whatever, preventative measures they put in place to force you to read it, because you're not going to read all this crap. Come on. It's all this, legal crap that doesn't really apply to you. That is a EULA, End User License Agreement. However, there's also a different kind of agreement. A license agreement for people... What's the best way to explain this? Sorry, I thought I knew how to explain this the best. End user license agreement. You are the end user. You're actually using the program that this source code gets compiled into. This is not the program. This is the source code written by hand. Maybe ChatGPT assisted some parts where automation is needed, but 99% of this code is written by real humans, by 308 real humans, and gets compiled by a computer into an executable that you run, which is what I showed you. The end user license agreement is an agreement that you have to read to agree to do things that you're not allowed to do. So you can't do things you're not allowed to do according to that license agreement. There's various different types. There's another license agreement type, though, which is what the software's maintainers are allowed to do with it. RPCS3 uses the GPL-2.0 license. So if you're creating a custom build of RPCS3, the people who maintain that custom build have to follow these license agreements exactly. They have to read through, understand it, You have to follow it exactly. Or else there's going to be some like punishments. There's punishments, naturally, natural consequences for not following this. For anywhere from something as small as a slap on the wrist to maybe like the inability to use the software, like your permission is revoked, or depending on how serious of like a violation it is, you might be taken to court. It all depends on the software that the license is protecting. Now, software can sometimes have modified versions of the licenses. RPCS3 does not. It has the default GPL-2.0 license. Now, I'm not going to read all this crap on here, but I have read it, as have other people. And what I want to focus on today is, according to this license, if you are maintaining a custom build and you have released it, as in released the custom build itself, showed a video of it online at any point, or like have people like download it and use it, you have to provide the full source code for the build. That is what this license says. So here's an example of a custom build someone is maintaining. Let me find this. I don't know what the purpose of this is, but this is a fork. See how RPCS3 Vanguard, public. It's forked from RPCS3. This is the custom build. I mean, it's custom code. Now, if someone were to release this modified version, they would either have to, 1, provide a link to this, or compress all of this into an archive and distribute that alongside the custom build. Those are the terms and conditions if you want to make a custom build of RPCS3. Now, as you know, Destination Home has a custom build of RPCS3. What I want to cover today is the fact that they violate the GPL 2.0 license, as their code is nowhere to be found. They not only don't give you the code, but somehow, some way, they're going way out of their way to actively try to hide it. But the way they're doing it is, I hate saying this, but it's genius. Because it doesn't look like they're violating it. They do this by taking advantage of some GitHub features that, to be honest, I'm not sure how it works. But I figured out that something is wrong. And I'm going to show you what I found. And then I'm going to act as a new user. Not really. I'm not going to like join their Discord server again, but through the discovery tab, you can see everything they have public. And since they have all their setup guides public, I'm going to pretend like I'm a new user and go through like where they link you to and see if I can get the source code. Because I should be able to if they follow the GPL 2.0 license. So, actually I'm going to do that first. Let's preview the Discord server. See what's going on here. Okay, all this stuff is active. Okay, so you immediately land here. You need the RPCN, which is RPCS3's like version of PSN that they're creating. RPCS3 setup guide. That's what we want. Okay, so what we need to do is download this custom build of RPCS3. This is so we're taking right there. Shouldn't be a problem. Okay. So here's the explanation. If you came here from not their Discord server, you can it links you to it. There's an installation guide for RPCS3 itself, how to download the firmware. Okay. Now here's the Windows 10 version and Linux SteamOS version. Mac OS version is still work in progress, whatever. And you see here, They have the Linux download, Windows download, and source code. So that's it, right? Here's the source code. Video over, right? No. Because this is incredibly deceptive, but also genius at the same time. This source code is not the source code for this repository. Or should I say, these builds are not the builds for this repository. See, they link us to the releases page, not the actual page for the repository. We'll come back to this later, but let's go here. But wait, go back. Zephyr Code Stuff released this. But if we go here, you'll see it's being maintained by a user called Destination Home. That's something I don't know how they're doing. So this page is like goes over like their contributors. There's 3 contributors: Nagato, Knight, and his name is Zeph. He goes by Zeph pretty much everywhere else. Here's just like here's an overwhelming amount of information. It is a feast for the eyes, and it is somewhat outdated too. And it links you to a bunch of stuff. Their code of conduct, enrollment, short-term goals, long-term goals, blah, 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 blah. Lots of stuff. But take a look at the releases. I'm going to open up the releases too. It looks like multiple people can maintain a user. And they can release stuff like in lieu of that user. So that's why Destination Home user owns the repository, but Zeph is able to release stuff for it. Okay. So these 2 files here, the RPCS3 Linux and RPCS3 Windows, they can be found client. Okay, not there. You see, Nagato is also able to like do stuff here. Not there. Not there. So it's not in the RPCS3 folder, strangely enough. What about PS3? Packages. No, not there. Not there. Not there. Okay, so it's not in the PS3 folder. What about GitHub? No. Nothing here. Oh, there's more folders. Oh lord, lots of folders. Nothing so far. Lots of screenshots. And if you notice, these are not files for the RPCS3 build, but rather like the main page with all the images and links on it. That's all this repository is. It's just a bunch of links and images. There's no actual code on here. But what I'm trying to show here is that there's also no build on here. Nothing here. Nothing here. So not only is the source code not here, but these releases are also not in the repository. This is the mysterious GitHub feature I don't understand. Despite this being the releases, which should contain the contents of this, these releases are nowhere in it. But what's in the source code, you might ask? Well, the source code is a giant download of all of this. I'm going to download it. And this is just a different compression of this. 102 megabytes. Seems like a reasonable size. Let's open this up. There should be a DH_RPCS3 file here. DH_. There's nothing here whatsoever. There should be a 7-zip and a zip with those file names. There's nothing here. Meaning they're redirecting them here from another source. So already, they're not giving us the source code. And the builds themselves are coming from some mystery location somehow. Okay. So, what's going on here? This is clearly not what we're looking for. The source code is not actually the source code, even though it looks like it is. So that's pretty deceptive. That's just the source of this page. So this image, this text, this link, it's the source code for this, not for the build. So where's the build coming from? That is a very good question too. So, well, before I say that, let's just say, well, what's the best way to explain this? I'm going to get back to where I was. No, not there. Here. Okay. So already, this appears to be a violation of the GPL 2.0 license. There's no actual code here. Let's look at these comments. Updated cache Hall of Fame list. Updated README. Included a configuration. Updated a README. Updated a README. This is not the code. Nor is it the custom build. So immediately, it looks like they're directing you to a build without directing you to a source code. But they could technically say, sure, we're not linking the user to a source code or the source for the original build. But the GPL license doesn't say that. It says provides the user with, not links the user to. So clearly, it should be somewhere on here, right? We're not told to click on it, but it is provided to us, meaning it is somewhere we can publicly access that they have provided for us. So something on this page, somewhere here, whether in here or back here, somewhere here is the original source code for this build. So let's go through these links. RPCS3 install guide. Looks like they have a guide how to set up RPCS3. Okay, this is just... No. This is really just how to set up the final build. Like, the actual, program. No code here. There's not even any releases here. It's just the wiki for this. The official Discord server, just Discord GG/PlayStation Home. Very bold of them to take that link. PlayStation 3 firmware just gets you the firmware that Sony links on their own website. The two links here are just this and this. The source code here is for this page here. It just contains the links, the images, etc. Okay, so you could still argue that there are more links in the Discord server. So they are technically still providing it. It's just not part of the setup process. Okay, so let's take a look at these links. Is it here? Yes, here. Here it is. It's the overview for the Destination Home GitHub account. Okay. So here's the public IP that you connect to. Oh, here we go. They list a development team. Surely someone here manages the repository. Okay, let's click on Nagato. It just goes to their Twitter page. Oh, there's a different link down here. Just goes back here. To the same place. Okay, that's not it. Goes to the Destination Home YouTube channel. That's not it. Okay, here's DedSec. This is outdated. He's not with the team, but Oh, it just goes to his Twitter. Oh, it just goes to the same Twitter page? What? It just goes back here again. Am I still recording? Yes, I am. Okay. Knight. He's a well-known developer, ex-project lead. Let's go here. It just goes back to the same Twitter page. GitHub just goes back here. Gaz, he's retired from the team, but let's just check. Okay, goes back to Twitter. Here, goes back to the same place. Figment is like one of the founders, and he was a project lead. He's one of the developers. Goes back to the same Twitter. Is GitHub is just the same one? Snake, I've never heard of this guy before. Oh, he actually has a unique YouTube channel. Okay, weird. What does his GitHub page look like? Oh, it just links back to the same one. Zeph? Oh, okay. Oh, Zeph. Okay. Finally, someone with an actual, like, page of their own. Okay. He has some repositories. Is it in here? No. No. This GitHub, is it related? No, it seems to just be an earlier version of the main GitHub page. Nothing here. So that's not it. The GitHub page here just links back to the same one. Okay, so we've gone through all the contributors here, and the source code and build isn't in any of them. Actually, maybe... No, it's not linked anywhere here. The master archive is just their old GitHub stuff. Hen is just for their old offline builds. You know what? Let's look at all of Destination Home's repositories. From the bottom up. Offline client, just a spreadsheet containing all these spaces they have. Master archive, which is like just their old cache data thing they don't update anymore. Object finder web. It's in Japanese. No, it doesn't look like it. French, Japanese, Italian, and Dutch versions of their guide that I already showed you. Something that Nagato made for offline builds. Their GitHub page again. That's not it. Image archive? No. Destination Home Online, is that it? No, it's just this. RPCS3 binaries. Ooh, this looks like they're executables. Oh, it's just a README. It looks like placeholder template. Yeah, okay, that's not it. I don't know what this is. That's definitely not it, though. So, out of everything they link, their custom build and source code is nowhere in it. Okay. So it really looks like they're actually violating the GPL-2.0 license here, since they not only redirect the build from an unknown location, but the code appears to not exist online. Just to be sure, I did find the GitHub pages for as many of the members on that one page as I could find. We already went over Zeph's page. It wasn't on there. Here's Nagato's actual page. 34 repositories. Surely one of these is it. Offline client. File archive. Cache. His user page. Same thing as before. Files, nothing here. Okay. It's not in Nagato's. What about Gaz? 49 repositories. This guy's been busy. Nothing home related so far. No. Nothing here. Nope. Gaz doesn't have it. What about Knight? Oh. Well, that's awfully suspicious. He does have a public repository here. That's some video game thing? That's not home. Really suspicious that he keeps all his activity private. It might be in there, which would immediately violate the license, but we still have more places to look. It lists a user named Toy Kyle. He doesn't have any repositories yet, so that can't be it. Megalia is ex-staff. He doesn't work for Destination Home anymore. There are only 9 users on the site that have the name Megalia. Megalia1 seems to match his Discord username. Where is that? Megalia1. But no one named Megalia ever has any activity or repositories at all. Okay. So let's go back and just click on every single link on all their pages. Sorry if you hear that. I live in a group home now. No, that's that. The Dutch, French, Italian, and Japanese versions. So what is this exactly? Oh yeah, this is just the cache data archive. This is their second outdated cache data archive. This is some project to keep track of reward items. Looks to be severely outdated and doesn't have any RPCS3 code. What about this? What's this? Okay, some offline stuff, not it. Ooh, a cache extraction guide. Okay. Let's put this to the side. That's interesting. In the same scene list spreadsheet. Okay. That's definitely not it. Welcome Homesters. Okay, it just tells you how to get custom firmware so they can mod the console and extract the cache. Just a video on how to extract it. Prerequisites. This doesn't really seem like online. Uploading your cache data. This is just to dump any cache you may have in your console. Social platforms. Their official website. Okay. Here we go. Their official website. Meet the team. Okay. I looked through these guys' pages already. I couldn't find these two. But there's no links here. Okay, RPCS3. That just links to the RPCS3 website. Links to their Discord server. Oh, your GitHub. Oh, it's, the same thing. Explanation of what cache data is. And legal links. Okay, not here. Okay, this just links to their very inactive Twitch account. And their YouTube channel. Offline client. Nagato's contact information. Okay, that's not it. What else do they link? They have this old page created by DedSec many years ago. Trello project status. What is this? Okay, that's not it. Join their Discord. Cache extraction guide. Offline stuff. Private video. Oh, there's no estimate to when online is available. This is very outdated. Okay, no links here. And that's it. So out of everything they've ever linked, made public to any user, or even things they don't link to any users and like hide as much as they can, none of it is the source for their custom build or the source code. But clearly it comes from somewhere, because whenever you like use the custom build, sometimes they release updates for it, and their custom build is set to download from their own source rather than like RPCS3's main updater. So where does it get that? So clearly it should be possible to reverse the process, go through the custom build back to the source, right? And if you break open the executable, yeah, you can. You can find all the, yep, there is an update server for it, okay. You can find all the text strings used for it. And if you break it open enough, wait, RPCS3 binaries, huh? Let's go here. Let me copy this into Notepad first, so I can copy paste it into my address bar. HTTPS : 2 backslashes github.com backslash no for oh these are forward slashes, my bad. Destination home // RPCS3 _ binaries. Okay, let's copy this into our address bar and see where this is. Wait, it's this? That doesn't make any sense. There's no RPCS3 code here, and the README is just this. But there's the releases again, and it's just these. So what's the source code here? The source code here is just the README. And once again, if we look here, Knight released this. Since he's a contributor to this destination home user, just like Zeph released files under the destination home account, Knight can do it too. So the builds update from this page. But where does this page update from? Well, since Knight released it, that means that the code is on his GitHub page. Oh wait, all activity is private. And this is the problem. If this is private, and he does not have a public repository, this means that the RPCS3 custom build is fully closed source, which, again, violates the GPL-2.0 license. So I asked around. Question: I found a fork of RPCS3 that's a custom build, except I didn't find the fork itself, but only that builds of it are being distributed via zip archives. I checked the GitHub pages of all of its maintainers, and none of them have the public fork, leading me to believe it's a private fork. This is before I made the connection I just made. I read somewhere online that you're not allowed to do this. Is that correct? Hey, future me here. Sorry, I just have to interrupt what I was saying here. Something I forgot to explain in the video is that Destination Home might have a public fork somewhere, but with a username that is just a random string of letters and numbers, and a repository name that is also a random string of letters and numbers. So if they're ever confronted, they can say, here, it's public, we have it. For example, a username of A7445BCXX, and a repository name of like BBB44775 instead of Destination Home and RPCS3. They could have that, but probably not. I just wanted to point that out. Okay, back to the video. Yes, you must provide their source code as per GPL, either as a zip file or a GitHub repository. This also extends to giving it to users to use, showing it in YouTube videos. They've live streamed it before. Release videos on YouTube, like linking it on GitHub. They have to provide the full source code. Now here's where things get problematic. Either 1, RPCS3 devs don't know about it, or 2, they do know about it and are protecting Destination Home from harm. Let's assume best intent here. A while ago, they added clan support, which is basically you can create clubs, but they added it to their support for it on their side instead of implementing it in the master build. So user Splicewave contacted Galciv, which is RPCN's main contributor, and he says that no, he's not adding it ever. For the rest of existence, no, he's never adding it. But I talked to the person that implemented it. They did it in a way that requires a secondary server. So Galciv talked to either Zeph, Knight, or all of the above. Meaning they know about the custom build. But I'm not entirely sure they've pieced together that it's private. On the contrary, about a week ago, I contacted RPCS3 through their forums, since that's the only way you can send them an email. And I asked, what's the best way to report a GPL 2.0 license violation? Since if you go on the GPL website, it says the first thing to do is contact the maintainers of the software itself. So I did that. I've heard nothing. So either 1, they're tied up with something and they're completely clueless that they're blatantly violating GPL 2.0, or 2, they're playing favorites, protecting a project that uses their own, that violates their own license. Because, I don't know, they feel like it's worth protecting or something. Something you should know about Destination Home is that they thrive when their user base does not know how their internal workings work. So, it's no wonder that this went under everyone's radar for so long. GPL 2.0 requires a public source code copy somewhere, either on GitHub or downloaded via zip. And I've confirmed that not only do they never distribute it anywhere, even in locations they don't directly link to or don't automatically link to, but they also keep the repository private. which is another violation since you, 1, have to distribute it, and 2, forks cannot be private. 2 violations of GPL 2.0 are happening here, and have been happening for an unknown period of time. So, this opens up a lot of questions. 1, is RPCS3 protecting them, or do they just not know? And 2, what the heck is in the code that's worth keeping secret so much? Their features, sure, I've shown before that they want to keep everything to themselves, but that's besides the point. What if there's something like an IP grabber in there? There could be. We'd never know about it. They can refute it all they want, but their source code's private. Additionally, in the past, in private conversations that have unfortunately leaked, Knight has stated that they do not work on technical stuff on Discord. Instead, they worked on it on Jira, which is another platform that's private. It doesn't have a website version like Discord does. But they shut down on February 2nd, 2024. Regardless, they are breaking a service agreement twice, avoiding all the blame by covering it up as much as humanly possible, using obscure GitHub features no one's ever seen before to redirect it from a private repository somehow. I really don't know how this works. And might be getting the emulator itself to protect them. But my concerns don't end there. Let's go back to their Discord server for a second. I want to I want to focus on a specific announcement from them. Gotta scroll up to August or something. Am I recording? Yes, I'm recording. Okay. This is what I would normally cut out. Okay. They did a poll. Would an all-in-one launcher make it easier for you or others to get started on PC? Launcher would download our RPCS3 fork with the game and firmware pre-installed and let you log into RPCN. There's always been issues with setup because, as I've said before, explained in the past before, not on YouTube, but I've explained in the past before that most of their user base is not technically literate. They just, since, to be fair, all you had to do to play home back in the day was highlight home and press X. Nowadays it's a lot more complicated with emulation setup. There was this situation where people had to create crash fix tutorial workarounds and no one was gonna friggin' follow that. I was there for the old offline days. It was only limited to a select few pretty much because no one could figure out how the heck to use it. So of course, if they do something like this, it would massively make it easier for the end user. So what they said was they would make it look like MiHoYo's launcher for Genshin Impact and Zenless Zone Zero. So this. Yes, I play it. Shut up. So this. It would download the game, let you log in and play it. So, if you know about my documents I've been writing, my coverage, if you don't know what I'm talking about, check my pinned tweet on my X and Blue Sky accounts. But if you know what I'm talking about, and if you've read through them, Destination Home has a tendency to collect materials that are not theirs, remove, get, their usage out of them, then remove any evidence they were ever connected, censor any evidence, remove it from the internet that they were ever connected, pretty much bury the people responsible for the connection between the two into obscurity, And then anyone who tries to bring this to light, they attack a lot to protect their public image. Because they're called like liars and harassers. And since, again, most of their user base doesn't see this, they're treated as innocent. And they've gained something that they didn't put much of the work in for. If you've read through my documents, you know some pretty major examples of this. Now, it's pretty stupid to think that, like, they would never do this for RPCS3. There's only one PS3 emulator. They're not going to make their own. But what if they could just take RPCS3 and make it their own? They already have their own, likely illegally, private copy of the emulator. And the devs either seem unaware or they're trying to protect them. What's stopping? And now they're working on a launcher that like doesn't have like all this technical crap. So they're eventually going to make it not look like RPCS3 anymore. So what's stopping them from like removing this here, this about page, not that one. No, go away. This one. What's stopping them from removing any mention of it being RPCS3 and replacing it with their own GUI that makes it look like their own? And then go on like their Discord server and say, "Welcome to our brand new launcher, created solely by programmers here at Destination Home." Because they've done that with other tools before. They like took tools that were made by Sony, changes a few things in them, and said, this tool is a project made solely by us. But there's nothing stopping them from doing that. And because most people just want to be able to play the game and don't care about anything else, what if that happens? And that would be a way for them to continue their trend of stealing, burning bridges, and censoring with RPCS3. After a certain point, the emulator is just the same each update. Then they can update it themselves. And since no one sees the code but them, not even RPCS3 devs apparently, they could make RPCS3, or at least their custom version, completely theirs. They could do whatever they want with it. They would have essentially stolen RPCS3 and claimed it as their own. It's not happened yet, but like they're 90% of the way to that. And given the past history of current management, the management before this management, and the management before that management, as well as the founders, they all did stuff like that constantly. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. I just wanted to bring this to your attention. The violations, I'm unsure if they're being protected or not. And the risks, I guess, not confirmed, but it is a risk. It is a risk that needs to be considered, even if it'll never happen. I just wanted to bring the public's attention to that. Since I did put this in my document, but that document can be censored. YouTube video, less so. And if the video gets a copyright strike, that'll just expose them. So there you go. Until next time.